Hello, everyone. Right now, I'm working in Publicis Group. It's a French listed communication group, top 3 globally. But myself was a startup entrepreneur. So my first startup was when I was 7 years old. So I learned from my teacher saying that I'm going to teach you how to make the butterfly wing. And I thought it was real. And I thought that if I would have the butterfly wing, I could fly. So I sold that idea to many of the kids in the neighborhood, and I collect the money. So eventually I have to return the money, and I realized you have to pay something for your dream and pay something which is not real. And then 98, when I came to China, I co-started a joint venture between a Dutch company and China SOE. And it was with 400 workers and engineers coming from a company that nearly bankrupt. So we have to make the joint venture out of that. And that company becomes the top 3 within less 4 years in the industry. Then I had my own Martech company for 7 years as a founder and CEO before I joined a corporate. Now, what I'd like to share with you today is fear. That is something I have learned throughout my 20 years in the startup, in corporate, is about fear. And I think that something is interesting that, I love what Richard said, that you actually learn by doing and falling. But it's very, very scary. And what happened is that in this process of starting on something, there are different types of fear. And I want to share with you my learning from the fears. So number 1 is fear of pressure. And I remember when I first started up the company, and also in my own technology company, but also the joint venture, I have been told by many people that you will not succeed because you are an outsider and because you are a female, because you are a woman. That's simple as that. You have no chance to be successful. And I realized that sometimes that fear is that I'm afraid that I will be a joke. So I have to constantly fight with a group of pros. It's like you're flying, right? You're flying, but there's a group of people constantly talking you down and out of your dream. And I think that's the time when I realized I probably fly too low. And I have to fly high enough so that I can be at altitude and fly at eagle. So the number 1 fear, I think, is that fear of pressure. But I think the way to turn it around is you gotta have to fly high enough to be an eagle so that those pros will not catch you up. And number 2 fear is fear of being not noticed. And I want to go back to the archive room. And I remember earlier time when I first job in Sotheby's, and I was put into a job that's to cleaning the archive. And I think that being a master's degree in history of art, I do not deserve cleaning the archive room. And so actually that's a shitty job because nobody is going to check the archive room. So I had a chance that I just quickly clean everything and I get out of that archive room in 3 weeks. Anyway, nobody is going to check my work. Or I'm going to do something very diligently and it would take me about 3 months. So I decide I'm going to do that. And I decide that I'm going to read through all the catalog, that nobody gives a shit to that. I'm going to learn the content of that. So I learned something in the archive room is that the best work coming, the work, the quality coming out of the time when nobody gives a shit to you, nobody pay attention to you, is the best quality of you. That's the real you. So when I was later on in the startup, even in the corporate, I have to make a choice whether I invest time to do something, bring the best quality, despite nobody's going to pay attention to that. I think that the archive room is very important. And I don't want to be living with the fear of not being noticed, because I know if I invest in making good quality, it will be my asset at the end of the day. The third is intuition. When I was studying MBA and later on in corporate, I have been constantly told, you cannot use your intuition because intuition is not logical. If you want to be successful, you want to be a successful person, even woman, come on, you can't use intuition. You have to use rationale because that's strong. But I realized intuition is a gift. In corporate today, 20 years, now I'm in a corporate of 18,000 people, and previously I was leading a team of 1,000 people, and I realized intuition is a gift. Intuition is not say that you instantly knowing what decision you would need to make, but intuition helped me to intuitively understand what is important, what is not important. And intuition is not weakness. Actually, intuition is strength. And I believe intuition helps entrepreneurs. Particularly, if you look at animals, they survive in an uncertainty world with intuition. And I believe intuition helps humankind too. So in the startup world, we face so many uncertainties. Sometimes we need to apply our intuition in order to assess the uncertainty, and do not discard intuition. And I believe intuition will help you. The last thing is the fear of falling. And I think that it's interesting to see that how scaresome that sometimes you think about doing something once, it doesn't work, it just walk away. And I have been in the digital marketing industry for a long time. Particularly in China, clients are very impatient. And most of the time, if you try once, you fail, the client will tell you, say, it doesn't work, try something else. It doesn't work, try something else. And I realized that actually, if you want to be successful, if success is a matter of probability, persistence helps you to increase the probability. Because if you keep doing something again, it trains your muscle, it trains your focus, it trains your intuition, and your success rate is higher. So I keep telling my clients, if you only do once, you walk away. It's the same as you don't do that, because then you don't learn. Your muscle is not trained. Your intuition is not increased. It doesn't help you to be successful again. Most of our successful clients that I have been working with, I realize they practice persistence and resilience. So we give up. You don't give up in the third time. We probably need to give up at X time, because that's the time we can really test and we can really be successful. So I do believe that the fourth fear of choosing something wrong and failing is the best way to conquer that fear is to be resistant, to be resilient. The resilience will pay off. So I would say that that's redefine the fear. Instead of fear, I think that we should encourage the other that we want to fly like the eagle, and we want to embrace the time in the archive room, and we want to apply our intuition, and last is that the resilience will pay off. So I think with all said, I really love this, and Napoleon said that imagination rules the world. I think for some of you, if you know when he quoted that, that was the time when he was entering the city, and he realized those people who have never met him regarded him highly. Why? Because imagination influences perception, change behavior. And I think imagination is so critical for the success of entrepreneur. Because at the end of the day, no matter how we prepare, we only have 50% chance to be successful. So imagination can help us to prepare for the success. It gives birth to the success. It prepares our heart. It prepares our behavior. It gives us higher chance to be successful. So I believe that as entrepreneurs, we need to exercise our imagination, and that will help us to be more successful and increase our success rate. So at the end, I just want to encourage all of us that we do not let fear define us, but let's redefine the fear. Yeah.